Welcome in, Crack fans, to our look at the history of teenage success on the WTA Tour. What we're going to be doing in this series, looking at the 6 teenagers currently ranked in the WTA Top 100, talking about their resumes, talk about how those resumes compare historically, and of course, offer projection for how they will do moving forward. With that said, let's get into it. It's easy to forget that at 17 years old, Coco Gauff is still the youngest player in the WTA Top 30, and the reason we forget is because she's had so much success early in her career. You look across the board by the numbers, she's the most accomplished thus far of this group of current teenagers in the WTA Top 100. Now, of course, I can hear all of you saying already, Alex, Raducanu won the U.S. Open. Alex, Fernandez made the finals of that event. You're really going to say Coco Gauff is more accomplished than them? Well, by the broader sample size, the answer to that question is yes. And of course, it's worth mentioning before we even get into her resume. Coco Gauff is still 17 years old. She's got 2 more full seasons as a teenager, not only to accumulate more stats, but to improve what are already exceptional numbers early in her career. You look for Coco Gauff, 65-31 in tour level matches. That's a 68% win percentage, That's good for second amongst the current group of teenagers, trailing just Emma Raducanu. But of course, you look for Raducanu. She's 13-5. She's played fewer than 20 matches. Gauff's done it over an 100 match sample size. She has this 68% win percentage. You look for her in terms of her overall professional record, 78-41. Again, she has a higher win percentage in tour level matches than she does in ITF level matches. It speaks to how successful she's been this early in her career. Of course, she's tied with Tauson for the lead amongst titles in this current teenage group. She's got 2. Tauson's got 2. Raducanu, Osorio, Serrano, and Fernandez each have 1. Kostyuk's yet to win her first. You look for Coco Gauff. She's made 2 finals. That's tied for second. She's made 5 semifinals. That's first amongst the group. 9 quarterfinals. That's first amongst the group. You look for her in terms of the best slam results. She has made a quarterfinal. That happened this year at the French Open. She's earned 18 wins across 9 main draws at slams. That's the most main draws played. Most wins, though, by at least 8 wins over the next closest teenager. You look for her 44-27 against top 100 opponents. Again, that's the most matches played. It's the second best win percentage behind Emma Raducanu. You look for her against top 50 players. She's 21-18. Again, that's third, trailing just Raducanu and Clara Tauson, who had 5-4. Neither of them have played more than 10 matches. Coco Gauff 10-10 against the top 20. That's second, though it is the most wins against top 20 opponents against any teenager. Look, she's 17 years old, and yes, she's been a part of the ecosystem for longer than some of the other current teenagers, but she's had success throughout her time as a teenager at a higher degree than the rest of the current group. That's why so many of us get so excited about her future. I get so excited, I say the word "so" twice in that sentence. And you look for Coco Gauff, again, by the numbers. You want to look at her performance in terms of hold percentage. Gauff tied for second. Tauson, Fernandez, Gauff, all at 69% hold percentage, tied for second amongst the teenagers. She's second in best first serve win percentage, trailing just Raducanu. She's 5th in best second serve percentage, and 5th in best break percentage as well. But again, a lot of those numbers, very, very thin margins between these players. You look for Coco Gauff, and again, how does she compare historically to some of the teenagers? It's in the lower tier. Right now, Gauff hanging out more with the Wozniacki and, Kostyuk and Osorio Serrano sort of players, although you look at her and you narrowed it out for tour level win percentage in terms of, instead of overall win percentage for Coco Gauff. Again, she's just behind Wozniacki at 68%. Wozniacki's at 68.4%. She's not quite in that 70% or over threshold like the Swiatek, Raducanu, Enin, Andreescu, Kleisters, Capriatis of the world, but she is still 17 years old. Let's say she wins 75% of her matches, even 70% of her matches over the next 2 seasons, as she did this season as a 17-year-old, that win percentage is only going to go higher. And that win percentage will drag her once you get over that 70% mark. Then you start joining the Ennins of the world. Of course, 75% is when you start to get to Clijsters and Capriati and Venus. And I'm not sure if Coco Gauff will be able to get quite there, but she could get awfully close. She's certainly going to match the 14, 15, 16, 17 sample size of slams of some of the higher caliber players like a Celis, like a Capriati, like a Martina Hingis did as teenagers. And that's a testament to the success she's had, that she's been able to get in on her own merits via her own ranking. Again, Coco Gauff is on pace. Now, she's not quite amongst the elite of the elite, but again, you look for her in terms of her record against top 20 opponents. She does, lead Wozniacki. She does, is right up there, with Sharapova and Swiatek and Venus, and she's going to improve. She's at 500 right now. You assume that number gets better over the next few seasons. She can climb into that echelon. It's not going to be quite the sample size, but it's going to be close. And again, 17 years old, still the youngest player in the top 30. Hard to be anything but excited. Hard to look at Coco Gauff and not think that is a player on a successful career path.